What's going on, fellas? We're going to talk a little bit about quarters coverage in the month of March, almost April. Congratulations for still playing Madden, man. I commend you. So, what I want to talk about is M.E.G corners with your quarters coverage and how that works. And then I want to talk about a new idea of potentially putting your nickel in man coverage. All right, so this adjustment that we're going to talk about is only versus 2x2 spread formations. This is when you can use this adjustment, okay? You cannot use it versus 3x1. 3x1, when you're in quarters coverage, the only person that's going to be playing M.E.G will be your backside solo corner, not your front side strength corner. But versus 2x2 spread formations, you can make this adjustment, and let's see how it works. So we have our corners on the outside, right? We're playing quarters coverage. The corners on the outside are playing mod coverage, which means if number one goes vertical past 10 yards, they will match them. But this has been the game for a while. It's been changed up. But now if you just press your outside corners, they will now play M.E.G, which means man everywhere he goes. So wherever the number one wide receiver on this field right now on both sides goes, that corner will now lock them up and play man-to-man. So, are you having some issues with your corners getting beat deep in quarters? I think that's something that happens to a lot of people. I'm going to go into that a little bit later. Just press your guys and make sure you have good press, and make sure that the outside receivers don't have short out elite. Because if you don't know, short out elite will beat press coverage, and it will smoke it and roast it, and you have no help over the top of you here. So this is really making sure that you are in the right position. This is going to be good for elite corners, guys who have good press and all that good stuff. So just to show you I'm not lying, right? We all know that if you play these guys off, let me go back. Let me pull the corners off. Let's start from the beginning. Let's do this the right way, right? So the corners are playing off, and I ran this type of route with two shallow routes coming from number one. The corners are going to let it go. Okay, they're going to sink back, help out on number two, and key the quarterback and play outside quarters, okay? But now, if I press the whole defense, let me just do that. You don't have to press the whole defense. You can take the nickel back, doesn't matter. If I ran the same route, watch the corners. They're going to now play M.E.G, and they're going to match number one, M.E.G, wherever he goes. So, if you didn't know that, you can use that in your offense, in your defense, I'm sorry. If you feel like that's something that, you know, you're having some issues with guys who are running a lot of underneath routes from number one, 5-yard ends, people want to run like the levels play. It's a popular play, and you're getting, number one's not being covered correctly. Shoot, you're good, right? You're getting guys that are trying to run slant routes, things like that. I'll put them in a slant on the side, a zig route on the outside, right? You're going to now get M.E.G coverage with your corners. So that can help your defense, I feel like. But I want to just go through some routes, and I want to just kind of sit through and let's just talk about potential of doing something like putting your nickel in man-to-man on number two. Now, that's going to be really good when you get your routes that they're going to match anyway, which is going to be 5-yard outs, 7-yard outs, anything to the outside to the flat, wheel routes, things like that. Now you know that if anything works inside, right, if there's a slant route, that the nickel is going to take them. So if you are now using the middle linebacker, which is what I would do, obviously, in quarters defense, you're matching 3. You don't have to worry about 2 from this side. So I will always have to match 3 no matter what, even if he goes to the left and number one runs something inside. So obviously versus 4 verticals, you're going to get that guy gone, and you're gonna have to sit here and match 3, right? So I want to go through it. This will take care of the problem that people who are in the know, that will cause your nickel to bug out and do something crazy. If we can somehow find a way to play against all the different defenses, all the different plays that we get, that the nickel is, putting him in man will help you allow us to kind of get through this problem. All right. Oops. Let me not do that. And again, like I had talked about in the last video, the nickel really kind of like false steps and does a lot of crazy stuff sometimes. It's not really a clean player. So, I mean, just take a look at this, right? His 2 works inside, quarter flat. This is without me manning him up. And look at him. He's there, he's there, he's there. Like, it's not clean, you know? That's horrible. So, I'm trying to help him out, and I'm trying to help myself out by not getting glitched and also maybe getting a little bit cleaner reads. So now I know 3's to my side. If 3 of the running back was to work out to the flat, right, I got to take him. If he stays in and blocks like he does here, then I'm fine. But I still have to look for what? A new number 3. I'm the wrong controller here. So as soon as this happens, I know I got to match this guy. That's my new number 3. But I like how that worked out. I'm trying to think about what can really, you know, you have to now think about matching 3 and you know the nickel is going on every single route. I can't think off the top of my head what would really be a problem in 2x2. Yeah, if you guys have any solutions or something that, hey, what happens if this happens, then, you know, hit me up. But again, we're playing match defense, so it shouldn't be an issue. You just get an extra guy working deep. And I think that's going to, I'm looking at all these plays right now. I don't see how any of these plays, it's going to be bad for us if the nickel's in man coverage. All right, I mean, double slant. Who really runs this that much? And people do it because they're scared of cover 0. But if I was here and I put the nickel in man coverage, right, I'm still keying 3. I don't know if it's, you know, this, I wouldn't know if it was, you know, a quick game route, but quarterback sets up quick. I would sit here in my new number 3. Right, and then that, you know, number 1's running across the field. But like I had just said, if you want to press everybody, right, do all this. Now you know your outside corners are playing M.E.G, so you're gonna eat up this play a lot better when you press everybody in quarters. All right, or even if you took your guys and put them in off man. The one thing I want to take a look at to disguise this is people who like to blitz their nickel. I'm actually thinking about, you know, doing all this and pressing the guy, you know, and still putting him in man coverage and letting other guys play off. So they're not sure right now if there's pressure coming from that nickel or he's playing man. Another cool thing is you're playing match zone, and if you actually outside shade everybody right now, you see how the nickel goes outside? Because he's playing man to man, you go inside shade. If you start doing stuff like this pre-snap, people are going to think that you are in man coverage. And they're going to be like, oh, it's man. Okay, so they're going to start coming up with their man beaters, where technically it's match man, but they don't know that, and they, you know, they might fall into a trap of some sort. All right, so those are some ideas I'm thinking about. And then the same thing when it comes to 3x1 and palms. That might be a little bit more funky, but I'm thinking about matching up that number 2 quarter flat defender strong and putting him in man-to-man coverage. It's going to be great versus guys who like to throw in routes, like to throw level plays. You're going to get some really good coverage on those plays now. They might try to hit the number 1 outside if it's a 3x1, but you know, if you put your corner in M.E.G or you play palms, you know, you're gonna at least be able to break up, you know, make a tackle on them. So let's end it there, and we will talk about the next video. We're going to go into some of the stacks and bunches, especially 2x2 stacks where there's 2 wide receivers spread out, but they're kind of like, you know, they're within 5 yards of each other, and how we can really kind of manipulate the defense to potentially play some, not just play 2-man or quarters man. I have an idea of how to play triangle. And I'll tell you what triangle is when we come back. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Peace.